In Activity 1, What is a Seed?, students are asked the question, what is a seed? With magnifiers, students first closely examine a variety of small objects, some of which are seeds and some of which are not, and sort them according to their properties, and then try to decide which of the objects might be seeds. From the kit, you will need Activity Sheet 1, magnifiers, Things We Notice chart, bag of copper pellets, bottle of white glue, sheets of construction paper, seed packages, roll of transparent tape, plastic trays, bag of gravel, and a bag of vermiculite. You will also need to provide felt tip marker and a measuring teaspoon. Several days before beginning this activity, ask students to bring in objects they think might be seeds. Make a copy of Activity Sheet 1 for each student. Divide half the seeds in each packet evenly among 16 trays. Each tray should have 4 or 5 seeds of each kind. Also, place a half teaspoon each of the gravel, vermiculite, and copper pellets on each tray. Hang the Things We Notice chart in the classroom. Each team of 2 will need a magnifier, a tray of seeds and other objects, and some glue. To begin the activity, ask students, what is a seed? Some students may know that a seed is something that can grow into a plant. Tell students that a seed is a plant structure that contains a plant embryo and a stored food supply that is able to grow into a plant. Distribute a magnifier, a tray with the seeds, and other objects to each team of 2, and have students add the objects they have brought in that they think might be seeds to their trays. Ask students, how can you tell whether something is a seed or not? Students' answers will vary and depend upon their experiences to date. Make sure to accept all responses at this point. Next, give students time to look closely at all the objects on their trays, and challenge them to use their magnifiers to discover as much as they can about each object. If necessary, show students how to use the magnifier. Ask each team, what have you noticed about the objects on your tray? As students offer descriptive words, write them in the appropriate columns of the Things We Notice chart. Students are likely to mention the colors, textures, and size of the various objects. Use the last column on the chart to list words that do not fall into any of the categories shown, or have students create their own category. Next, tell students to divide the objects into 3 or more groups, using whatever criteria they choose for sorting them in a particular way. This will challenge the class to observe each item and think about its characteristics. When all the teams have completed the sorting, have each team explain which objects they grouped together and why. Add any new descriptive words that students use to the chart. Ask students, which of these objects do you think are seeds? Encourage students to share ideas and discuss their reasoning within their groups. Then instruct students to separate the objects into 2 piles, items they think are seeds and items they think are not seeds. Distribute Activity Sheet 1 and glue, and tell students to glue 2 or 3 objects they think are seeds onto their activity sheets under the heading, These are Seeds, and glue 2 or 3 objects they think are not seeds under the heading, These are Not Seeds. If students have difficulty gluing beans onto their activity sheets, use transparent tape or draw the pictures instead. Let students know that over the next week or 2, they will find out which of these objects really are seeds. To conclude the activity, return the seeds to their packages and put all materials back in the kit. Set aside the objects that students brought to class for use in Activity 2, and remember to leave the Things We Notice chart posted. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science readers, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.